If I was starting over, here's the exact step-by-step plan that I would follow to get back to where I am today. And I want to teach you everything I know about this roadmap. I have jotted down some notes that I will share with you for free. I will share my screen, my smartphone screen right here, so you can see it. But before we do that, I firstly want to give you a little bit of credibility why I am someone you can trust and why I am someone that has already made it a little bit like on the journey to becoming the entrepreneur of the decade, for example. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Fabian from Werner. I'm currently a student in Germany. I'm studying at the University of Applied Sciences Würzburg-Schweinfurt for a bachelor's degree in e-commerce, where I'm also proudly recognized as one of the top 20% of students. At the same time, I've worked 2 years in tech, to be more precise in tech sales, and I have in general 5 years of experience in business. So that experience comes from me having started 3 businesses on my own so far. My first business was an archive fashion store, so an e-commerce online shop where I sold archive fashion to people around the globe. My second business was a productized service agency where I helped businesses streamline their operations with mainly the software Notion. And now my third business, my current business, is the one you're watching right now. It's my content business, my personal brand business, where I teach everything I've learned so far and will learn on my journey to you for absolutely free. So with that being said, this is all the credibility I can offer you. But if I wanted to get back to where I am today, and maybe a little bit faster, because a clear roadmap makes things definitely a lot easier, I will do this, what I'm about to teach you. So the first thing I would need to do is that you want to become associated with a word or an idea. And that's because every business needs a premise, meaning a differentiated perspective on an idea. So, for example, in my case, that's mainly, at least of right now, business, or to be more precise, internet businesses. So I teach you how to use software for different businesses. I explain basic terms like what does exit rate mean? What is freelancing? What is a side hustle? To get the basics done. Then I make these videos to, yeah, make you scale your business. So I think business itself is pretty interesting, but I like to talk more about internet businesses in general because, first of all, I'm from the tech industry, and second, I think those are a lot more fun to operate and they are very scalable. If you don't know what scalability means, then I highly refer you to my video that is called What Does Scalability Mean? Okay, so then other people's examples would be vulnerability, stoicism, sweaty startups, or habits. So you want just this idea that when people say this, for example, productivity, who comes to mind? Probably Ali Abdaal. So you want to have this instant recognition effect. So when you are associated with a specific word, phrase, idea, or movement, that connection spreads. And as it spreads, it gets stronger. That association is what builds the audience, and a very targeted audience at that. Because if you want to make this educational type of content, then you need a targeted audience to sell a product or service to. Otherwise, you won't be able to monetize and make insane numbers as a creator. Step 2, you want to create a free email-based course or something like a newsletter. Definitely something with email because it's highly scalable. You write it once and it can deliver it infinite times, even when you're sleeping. So, an email-based course is an incredible lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? I have a video on that. If you don't know, just search it up. What does lead magnet mean? They also build relationship with both the reader and their inbox, which is very valuable. A well-written multi-day email course that serves the reader and positions you as a credible authority on your premise is invaluable. Step 3. You want to choose a discovery platform. Discovery platforms have a mechanism for connecting new consumers to your content, i.e. social media, meaning they have an algorithm that suggests users of the platform content based on their interests. Relationship platforms, on the other side, are distribution you own, for example, email. And this framework called Discovery Platform and Relationship Platform is from Jay Claus, who is the owner and founder of Creator Science, which I definitely recommend checking out if you want to dig deeper into this entire creator space. So first you need to decide, do you want to focus on video like I'm doing right now, or I'm writing. Because you can't get both good at both at the same time because they are two entirely different disciplines. It's like if you wanted to get good at two different sports, for example, if you wanted to get great at cycling and boxing at the same time, it just won't work. Or it will work, but it will take 10x the time it would take if you would only focus on one of the two until you have mastered it, and then you move on. So if you want to go the writing route, then you have the following options: X, or formerly known as Twitter, Quora, Threads, LinkedIn, and Medium. And if you want to go video, there is a little bit of a distinction. You can either do short form content, long form content, or both. Same goes with writing. You can either write essays, blog posts, or like shorter pieces of content, but I'm more familiar with video, so I can help you more with that part, at least as of now, because I'm trying to master medium or video as a medium first. So if you want to go with video, then TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts would be the way to go if you went with short form content, and long form content would be just uploading YouTube long form videos, which is essentially the exact thing you're seeing or watching right now. So choose one platform to start, for example X, or formerly known as Twitter, and experiment with cross-posting to the other platforms in that same medium, for example LinkedIn. But only try that or start doing that once you have built an audience that is reliable, that is coming back to your content, that is watching your videos over and over again, so you don't waste a lot of time. This was the mistake I made when I first got started, because I wanted to max out all platforms at once, and in the end it turned out that I wasted like 3/4 of a year without any growth on any platforms because I just was not focusing on one. Right now what I'm doing is I've focused the other duration of my journey, which is another 3/4 of a year from that failure point to now, on only one platform, which is YouTube long form videos, and as you can see, it worked really well if you have a look at the numbers. So trying to do both, writing and videos, like trying to become world class at playing two unrelated sports. There you have it. Step 4. I would align my digital footprint with my premise. What does that mean? Well, whatever discovery platforms you choose, design your profiles to speak to your premise. I think that's straightforward. Your profile should tell people about what you're talking about, why they should care, and why you're legitimate and trustworthy. I do that, for example, by introducing myself at the beginning of each video to give a little bit of credibility, why people can trust me, what is my experience, because I can only talk from my experiences. If I'm not credible enough, then feel free to turn that video off. I can only speak, of course, of that stuff that I've experienced so far on my own. I am currently 19 years old, so that is not as much as someone who's 50 years old, of course, but I give my best and I try my best to condense the knowledge into nice to watch and actionable videos. Step 4, study, study, study. This is a great step. So whether you're starting from zero or already have experience in your niche, become one of the most knowledgeable people in the world on that subject. And it's easier to become one of the most knowledgeable people in the world on that subject if your subject is really clearly and defined and it's niched down. So it's easier to become great at how to gain muscles targeted at women that just got pregnant than just gaining muscle, for example. It is way more targeted and thus way easier to become the most knowledgeable on that topic. Because the better you know a subject, the more unique, insightful, and compelling your work is. So you should read a lot. You should watch a lot of videos. If you want to get good at YouTube, like I do, have a look what is trending. Get inspired. What do other creators do inside and outside your niche? What is working for them? How are they making their videos? Ask yourself questions and then find answers over and over again. But these are all things that you don't need to look actively for, because if you're really interested in the topic you talk about, then this comes all naturally, at least for me. Step 6, you want to go very hard on your discovery platform. So for example, I do that on YouTube by uploading daily, at least of now, which is absolutely mind-blowing because I never thought this was possible, but it's pretty much me right now changing the entire perception of what's possible on education YouTube. So if you want to be part of the journey, subscribe to the channel to always get the latest videos on a daily basis delivered to your inbox. Okay, so become a student of the best accounts on that platform, figure out why they are successful and model after them. Turn on notifications for big accounts in your niche to become visible and appreciated by being an early value add in their replies. Publish daily and comment even more. Remember, this is easier if you focus on one platform. This is absolutely true. You want to just show that you're present. You want to show that you're available, that you are interacting with other people, because social media has this little tiny social part in it for a reason. Step 7. Direct social followers to your free email course. Pretty easy, I think. Append every post with a CTA, meaning call to action, to subscribe to your free email course. This is a slow drip, but it's consistent, and every subscriber counts. This is the exact same thing I'm doing right now. If you have a look at my description, you will find my newsletter, which I don't have an email-based course, but I have a weekly, or basically a frequent newsletter that I send out. And this allows me to, direct at least my YouTube subscribers as of now to my newsletter in the description down below. So if you're also interested in how I structure my newsletter emails, or if you want to remodel my landing page, then check out the newsletter in the description down below. And even if you're interested in the topic itself, because I teach you everything I know in my newsletter, I open source my business, meaning I make all of my numbers and learnings fully transparent, then you are of course also very welcome to check it out and subscribe to it. All right, step 8, start writing an evergreen long-form newsletter. So I skipped that step because I have a frequent newsletter and it worked for me. But this is what I will do if I start over again, because then you have already built this relationship to the inbox of the reader. And if you're not that familiar yet with writing newsletters on a frequent basis, then a one-stop email-based course definitely works wonders as well to get started. But then step 8 is the next level. So it's time to start writing consistently to those people who subscribe to your email-based course. The problem with short-form content is that it doesn't keep working for you once it's published. That's why I love YouTube long-form videos, because even years after they were uploaded, they still get views. So it's just a no-brainer for me, at least, to do YouTube instead of something like X, formerly known as Twitter, because these posts die after at least 48 hours. So it is a lot easier for me to do one long-form video that will get views years after than trying to waste a lot of time as a complete beginner writing tweets over and over again. Okay, but evergreen long-form content does persevere. That's why I'm all in on evergreen long-form content. Start by sharing summaries of what you are learning from your studying. Save people time by condensing a large amount of information into a small amount of information. That's what I'm practically doing in this video. So step 9, listen to your intuition. After a while, you'll become one of the most knowledgeable people on your topic, and this while can be years, but it's worth the wait. A voice in the back of your head will start connecting dots and even disagreeing with other voices in the space. This is a sign that you are becoming an independent thinker, and this is what real businesses are built on. Start crystallizing those unique opinions and sharing them in your writing. Straightforward. Step 10. Start offering one-on-one consulting. Your subscribers will look at you as more knowledgeable than them, and this is even fine if you're only one step ahead of them, because then you're able to give and bridge that gap to those one step behind them. Because, for example, if you are starting out, you're relatable, a lot more relatable, than someone who has already 1 million followers and teaches you some beginner stuff, because they are clearly no more beginners, because they've done it for 10, 20 plus years. And if I've only done it for myself, for example, for 1.5 years, I think I can teach you a lot better on the stuff that actually matters if you also are just starting out, because I'm not that far ahead of you, which makes it more relatable and which makes me more suitable for you teaching that advice. So if you agree to that, then let me know in the comments down below. All right. So if your subscribers will look at you as more knowledgeable than them, then you can feel free to offer only one-on-one consulting to your readers. And there, the rule of thumb is that you start at $100 an hour and add a booking link to your email signature and increase the price by $100 every hour after every 10 bookings. So booking 0 to 10, $100 an hour, booking 11 to 20, $200 an hour, and so on and so forth. Step 11. Cross-promote with other newsletters. The best way to get new subscribers is to put your newsletter in front of other newsletter subscribers. Cross-promote with other related newsletters or purchase paid advertisements in them. This is definitely an advanced step, but it's worth spending that money and advertising because it will skyrocket your growth if you have targeted audiences from other creators that you can easily access via a sponsorship, for example, and then drive them to your own newsletter. Step 12, roll out newsletter sponsorships. So right now we are getting in a territory where you can definitely make a good living off of what you're doing, but don't rush. It takes years to get that. This is no competition. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So not the first one who is able to roll out their first newsletter sponsorship wins, but it's more about rolling out or starting each step that I present to you when you feel comfortable doing so. So always keep that in the back of your head. So it's pretty common to get around $30 per CPM, meaning $30 per 1,000 subscribers in newsletter sponsorship. So CPM just means cost per mil, meaning, for example, if you have 1,000 subscribers, you can expect $30 in like sponsorship revenue from that. At 10,000 subscribers, that's roughly $300 per newsletter advertisement, which is $1,000 to $1,500 per month if you send 4 to 5 emails, meaning once per week, roughly. All right, step 13, you want to create a signature product. Through your email replies and consulting calls, you will identify patterns in the problems your audience has. So look for recurring patterns, questions, problems, write them down and collect them somewhere so you can reference them at a later point. Then you want to create a unique experience that both solves a real-world problem and is aligned with your premise. So not only will you start generating revenue, but a great signature product will also reinforce your overall brand, meaning Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte, Rite of Passage by and Part-Time YouTuber Academy by Ali Abdal. Rite of Passage is from, I have the name on, you can just Google it and you'll find out. It's this writer slash creator from X and LinkedIn. Never mind, you will find his name. But this will reinforce your brand. I know, at least when I hear the name, I know who it is, so I just would need to Google it to find out. So that's a great example. So I have already had some touching points with him, but David Perel is his name, I think. Yeah. All right, now I can die in peace. Perfect. So step 14, increase ad inventory. Once you're consistently filling your newsletter sponsor slots, increase your ad inventory. There are 2 simple options to instantly double your revenue. Option 1 is adding a second slot per email, or option 2 is to write 2 emails. So this doubles your sponsorship revenue overnight. And if you want to quadruple your sponsorship revenue overnight, write 2 emails with 2 sponsorships in each of them, but always look out that you don't advertise too much, because you always have to give more than you ask for in return. Step 15, stay the course. If you've gotten this far, you have a steadily growing business. At this point, time is on your side. Just keep doing what you're doing with a focus on consistently making your content a little bit better. This works, trust me. Step 16, ignore distractions. The more your audience grows, the more opportunities will come your way. Most of these are actually distractions in disguise. Instead of starting new projects from zero, keep compounding your progress. Resist the temptation to add more discovery platforms too quickly. That's what I said initially. You want to get really great. You want to master one discovery platform you're on. Only then you will eventually move on. But this can take years until you actually move on, because mastery takes a lot of time. So conclusion, with this strategy, you'll have 3 revenue streams. 1, consulting, 2, sponsorships, and 3, a signature product. This gives you a diversified, resilient business. You'll simultaneously be growing across your newsletter and social media accounts. And as your audience grows, so will your revenue. This approach is simple, but it isn't easy. It takes hard work and time to become one of the most knowledgeable creators in your niche. It takes discipline to publish consistently, especially in the beginning. So be resilient, work hard, and have faith, because this entire thing is a long game. So if you have learned something from this roadmap, then I would highly appreciate if you would check out my newsletter in the description down below, because that's where I publish all of the knowledge, all of the lessons, all of the successes and failures I experience on my journey. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.